So it's about 10 o'clock, and while I didn't finish clearing everything off last night, I did get up to the end of November done. So what I have left is just October, um, which I would think I'll probably get it done by the end of the day. But I mean, like, you run through it, and there's constantly more and more and more, right? So it's hard to say. What I will say is that I slowed myself down a little bit because I was reading some of the information, and I pulled out some of the more surreal stuff and threw it up on my Facebook page. Um, some of the comments that were maybe a little bit more forward thinking. Um, a lot of it's kind of just monotonous kind of stuff. And when I put it up, I'm going to make an effort to sort through that a little. Another thing is a lot of the links are dead. Most of them I've been able to refind. One of them, there was a really good article on Reagan called "He Was a Madman." That just I can't find it. Maybe it'll come back up one day. But that was a great article, just explaining how, in fact, Reagan was a racist asshole. And not just a racist asshole, but an insane racist asshole. Really every bit as comparable to a Stalin or a Mao, even if his death toll was a little bit lower. Although, depending on how you measure it, that might not actually be the case. Just, he needs to be in that sort of category of insane people, not in this category of, formative, important leaders. And this really warped perspective that's developed since then. I don't really want to get into this right now, though. I just wanted to do a progress report. Like I said, it's around 10. I've stopped to get something to eat, and I'll get back to it afterwards. So one of the nice or the neat things about doing this project is that by the end of it, I'll be able to answer the question of how much money I would have if I got $1 every time I threw a banana cigarette. It is going into the pile where it belongs. I do want to point something else out, though. I've been noticing for a long time, I'd say maybe close to 10 years, that I've been developing sort of a problem on, I guess that's my left side of my face, kind of up and down around here. It manifests itself largely in a facial tic and a difficulty swallowing. Also, as well as a difficulty producing saliva. Now, I've determined a few things from this. The biggest thing is that, the biggest factor is that it gets better when I drink more water. Meaning, I think it has something to do with being dehydrated. Although I have been drinking a lot of juice, and I have not been drinking any coffee the last few days either, so, I haven't been going through that diuretic process. I have talked to a few doctors about it. I've actually asked for scans regarding MS, but, all I've been able to get back is skepticism. I would have said, well, let me be completely frank. I think I have MS. And I think that it's been slowly I've been getting those kind of warning signals for years. The problem is I can't get any doctor to take me seriously because I'm in such great health. And I've always been in such great health. So, one of the things I wanted to do when I quit smoking was to wait it out a little bit, see if it makes any difference, because that is one of the MS isn't really understood, but there does seem to be a correlation between smokers and MS. So that's one of the things I wanted to, rule out, sort of thing, or at least see if stopping smoking makes a difference, kind of thing, right? So I'm not going to do anything for a few months. The bottom line is I can't do anything about it, right? There's no solution. I'm not going to take a lot of pills. There's no. If it turns out that I am, or I do have MS, or I'm developing it, or whatever, then it's just something I'll have to deal with. There is no solution to it. But I mean, it's tied into. I mean, like sort of the neck soreness that I was having and everything else, right? So there's a lot of. I basically have every possible wording site you could imagine, and yet I can't get a doctor to take me seriously because I'm too healthy, which doesn't make any sense either, right? I haven't asked this doctor that I just got to now yet. That's gonna be my appointment's in April. I'll talk to them then. For me, for years I avoided any kind of diagnosis. Like I wanted to talk to a doctor about the possibilities of it. I've been told that what you need to do is you need to get X-rays and everything else, right? But I didn't really want to go through the full process of diagnosis because I thought it would only harm me, right? Having a diagnosis like this is only gonna. It's just not. If you actually want to exist in the labor market, it's not something you want, pulling you around, right? Or following you around. But now, because I do plan to be on disability forever, I think I might actually be very useful to me to have that properly diagnosed. And that was one of the reasons why the last doctor wouldn't take me seriously, because he thought I was just making it up to try to get a diagnosis, right? So he's like, he was basically like, don't waste my time with this. But I tried to explain to him that I'm actually serious about it, right? So he didn't. He did what he needed to do, but so let me rephrase this. He wasn't a doctor. He was a nurse practitioner, and you could tell, to be blunt with you. But yeah, I don't. I should publicly thank him because he did help me with some things, but there were a number of things that he didn't take seriously that he should have. And a number of things that I think he very drastically underdiagnosed, which again might be partly my own fault for. We're not going to go into those circumstances, but I kind of I think I pointed it out once before. Anyways, so yeah, the MS thing. I just noticed it when I was eating, just like. Very hard time getting the smoothie down. And that's after quitting smoking for 2 weeks. It's very dry in here. But still, I don't know. Like I said, there's nothing I can do about it, so, But at the same time, if it persists for a long period after I've quit smoking, let's say April, if it persists that long, I'm going to have to really push strongly to get those tests done. Because, like I say, it would be useful to me. The kind of I'm clearly insane, and it's clearly, I clearly can't go to work. But at the same time, if I had that MS diagnosis, that would be very, very crystal clear. No one would argue with that, right? So, might be the only person in the world that's ever looked forward to getting an MS diagnosis, but such is the reality of life in post-industrial hyper-capitalism here, where the only path to freedom is being declared sick. Thanks for all you've shown us. No, we didn't get any snow here. Sorry, Jonas. No. You can call yourself Jonas if you wish, but you didn't leave us anything. I'm actually too far north In fact, it's actually warmed up a lot in the last 48 hours. We might get a little bit of a warm spell from it. And we may actually be entering the beginning of spring. Um, Cross your fingers, but no crazy snowstorm in Windsor, no crazy snowstorm in Detroit. We're too far north. So it's about 8:30 on Sunday night, and I'm stopping to eat again. I didn't finish my eggs this morning. It's often the case that I'll finish most of my eggs and leave the rest for either a snack that night or to start the next meal. So this idea that I make one meal a day. Sometimes it's really just the eggs that happens with. Sometimes it does get split into two meals, but so that's what I'm doing. So it's almost the end of the weekend. Did I get done the page? Not entirely. I just finished the 2013 part. That's all the categories. Which means that what I have left are the archives from the middle of 2012. That coughing is actually more from dry. I just had a Triscuit. My throat's a little dry. It's a little dry in here. The temperatures come up, but it's. I've been hearing the furnace on like all day. In fact, it was on all night, so it's weird to me. Normally when the temperature comes down, normally when the temperature goes up outside, the heat comes down in there. So the fact that he's got, great. It's nice, nice that he's got the heat on, but it's unexpected anyways. And it has led to a level of dryness in here. It could be because I didn't crank the heat. He might have been expecting me to like turn the heat up when it got cold. I didn't. So, but I don't know. We'll see how that works out. I'm comfortable. I'm in a little bit of a breeze, a little bit of a draft. It'd be nice if that went away. But I'm in a t-shirt. I'm comfortable. I could put a sweater on. If I did put a sweater on, I'd probably be maybe a little warm. So I'm not complaining. But I'm stopping to eat. I got to that point. This is really not. My throat is actually like way better. I'm still coughing up like. It's not really phlegm. It's like I don't. It's that point of goopiness that I don't know if it's actually smoking related or MS related. This is what I needed to test before I started really flipping out. And I didn't mention that in my list of reasons of quitting smoking, but it's actually, back there, it's actually one of the more stringent concerns. Is dealing with that. So, broadly speaking, it's a lot better. In fact, I think my throat's actually gotten better. It might take until the air loosens up a little bit before my throat loosens up, but we'll see. Yeah, I just wanted to get across that is done up to that point, which is the major point. The archive stuff, I was hoping I could just like copy the whole thing over and paste it. That's not gonna work. What would be really nice is if Facebook had an option where you could like save the note with all the comments, like save it as like a note file or something, and then open it up in, I don't know, even if they wanted to create a binary for it. That way you could transfer notes. But anyways, I think most people would probably consider that pointless. But I mean, I consider it. Yeah, no, that would be completely useless to almost everyone. But in the situation that I'm in right now, it would actually be really nice if I could do that. What I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to copy it all over. This is a little bit different though because I'm not keeping track of any kind of categories or anything. So the reason why what I just did took so long was because I actually had to do it 3 times, right? I had to copy everything over, and then I had to open the links up to see where they were categorized, and then copy the category over. So it took 3 times as long as it could have. And it's, I mean, see, this is what I was talking about before when I said, I was looking at it and saying, well, this isn't going to take so long because I'm doubling lengths. But I mean, even with that, it could have taken a lot longer if I wasn't doubling the lengths. But as it was, I had to do everything 3 times, so it took 3 times longer than it would have had I just copied it over. So this is a big archive. I'm looking at like 400 or 200 or 300, or I think there's 3 of them, and one of them is like 450. The other one's 2, the other one's 3 something, right? So the one that's 2 is like high 2s. So let's say 450 and 2 3s. So it's a lot of lengths, about 1,000. So again, if I can copy over, about if it on average takes 3 seconds to copy one over, well then you can do the math, right? 3 sets, 3,000 seconds. So I'll divide it. What's 60? Is 60 times 10, 600. So 60 times 5 is 300 times 50. So yeah, about, well, don't tell me it would only take an hour. If it only takes an hour, I'm good to go. I think it'll probably take a considerably longer amount of time than that. But it could conceivably be done maybe by the time I go to sleep. So I think I'm sitting good for that. It's not going to be done by the end of the weekend. It doesn't look like. Well, maybe, but probably not. It'll be in one more day, and then I can get to actually tracking some things down tomorrow. Right now, I got to finish my eggs. I'm going to finish those Triscuits, get some juice, and get back to it.